I'm Gamini here. You all may agree we live in the world's richest land on earth, but unfortunately, many people are struggling, and some are having even handled more than $400 or $500 a month extra payment, and they max out their credit cards, line of credits, and they are borrowing for high interest loan from all the other like payday loans and all these places. Why is that? You all know that financial education is not given to people. Financial literacy is the challenge. People don't understand. So I think because lack of understanding about that subject, many people are struggling a lot. And today, everyone talking about the inflation. So I decided to bring a guest talk about this subject more to educate you about this subject. I hope that will help you. And the guest will explain you and break it down, and hopefully you will learn a lot from him. Right. So I'm going to bring the guest now. So we will dig deeper. As I said, uh, lack of financial knowledge, financial literacy is the main reason. Even though we lived in the wealthiest land on earth, but people are struggling unnecessarily. It shouldn't be that way, right? So let's bring the guest now. Hello, Johnny.
Hey, Gamini.
Hey, hi. And Johnny, and he's a financial educator. So I brought him today for one reason, because he has a wealth of knowledge about the subject, and he is an awesome person. He want to give it back, and he's educating people. I think, Johnny, tell me a little bit about yourself.
Hi, my name is Johnny Dow. Thank you very much, Gamini, for allowing me to be part of this show, sharing my what I know, what I learned to everybody, to your audience. When you share me about this subject that we want to talk about, I was really excited about it. And why am I excited about it? Well, I am an immigrant. I come to Canada 1985. Nobody taught me about finance. And when it comes to finance, a lot of people don't understand much about it. Like you said, we're living in the richest country in the world, and people are struggling with that. Well, why? Because they don't have understanding knowledge of financial literacy. So my role is with my client is I'm a financial educator. I educate clients about all their products, what they have, and how it works together, and what kind of fees and tax and what kind of can it impact their wealth. But the most important thing is that most financial advisor or financial industry out there, they don't talk much about inflations. And today's a subject about inflations, and I'm glad to be here to share with you what is the reason why we are in this situation.
I'm glad that you brought that subject. So can you a little bit and explain a little bit more about the inflation? What's inflation means?
Well, inflation in a nutshell is the cost of living, right? Everything price went up, everything goes up.
Mhm.
Cost of living goes up. When the cost of living goes up, your dollar is lose the purchasing power. So, for
Mhm.
example, $100 last year would buy you more grocery than what $100 can buy now today because of
Mhm.
the cost of everything going up.
Mhm.
But the main thing, Gamini, is not. Let's not talk about inflation. It's not. We got to look at why we are here in inflation. Now,
Mhm.
if we have proper financial understanding or knowledge or literacy, then we wouldn't have to worry about inflation, right? And the problem with a lot of people right now is that they make these financial decisions, right, with different people at different times under different circumstances, right? So when you have a kid, oh, you got to need to save money for education, for college. You go to work, you got to save money for retirement,
Mhm.
right?
Mhm.
You get a mortgage, you need a mortgage insurance, right? But a lot of people don't understand is that most of these products they buy, they don't understand how it works, and it
But
becomes unproductive.
Johnny, but they go to a finance institute, they go to the bank and talk to the advisors, right? They are the one advising them.
Okay, well, here's the thing. That's a good topic, right? Most of people, when I need something about finance, the word finance and bank always go hand in hand, right?
Mhm.
Let
Mhm.
me ask you these questions. Why are banks open? What is the purpose of having the banks being there? Well, banks are there to lend us money, to put us in debt. The main revenue is debt, right?
Mhm.
Collecting interest from you through your line of credit, through your mortgage, through your car loan, through your credit card. So the question I always want to ask you is that, would the bank teach you the game that they play, or they want to teach you the game that they want you to play
Mhm. Mhm.
by getting us in more debt? Correct?
But do you think that bank is not teaching people, giving right advice?
Well, they're teaching you the advice that they want you to learn. They're teaching you strategies that you want to implement.
Mhm.
And here's an example, Gamini. You know, a lot of people say, "Oh, I'm so afraid. I like to pay off my mortgage. I want
Mhm.
to get out of debt." But what is debt? You got to make sure you understand the definition of debt.
Mhm.
Well, the definition of debt is when you borrow some money, you owe somebody some money, but you don't have money to pay. So
Mhm.
those are bad debt, like credit card debt, right? But mortgage debt is actually sometimes a good debt, depending you understand how it works. So
Mhm.
my question I always want to ask my clients is, okay, your objective is to pay off your mortgage, but what I give you a same objective but different method, the method that you have more control. You have to understand, you in the real estate business, right? When you
Yes.
pay off your house, Yamini, yes, you're mortgage free, but you are just living in that house without paying rent. That's all it is. The
Right.
house does not belong to you, right, Yamini?
Right. Now, today's topic, most people are talking about the inflation, right? So now they are being impacted a lot. They can feel it when they go to a grocery store, right, to buy stuff. Now, is there any way that they can protect themselves from this inflation, or they can do anything to avoid impact?
Well, the one thing you have to understand is, a lot of people like me, my country, in my culture, Vietnamese people, we all have cash, and most of people, stuff like some of my family member, they still have cash under their, at their home, living at home, right?
Mhm.
Well, here's the thing: if your money have to always continuous growing.
Mhm.
Now, if you keep cash in the bank, in a saving account, or in
Mhm.
your safe or your deposit box, whatever it is, you can be killed by inflation. Because if that money is not growing at the same rate as the inflation, 3 to 7%, you are losing money every single year,
Mhm.
right? So if you have $100,000 cash sitting there, last year inflation rate this year is about 7%. Now that $100,000 only worth 93,000, right? So the
Yeah.
key thing is that you have to park your money somewhere that is growing constantly against inflation, with inflation, so that your wealth is continuing to be the same. A lot of
Mhm.
people right now is, they don't know what to do, because, everything's going up, salary still the same, GB, Gemini, right?
Yeah.
They're
Yeah.
struggling.
Yeah. I think you are perfectly right, because I always explain uh, uh, to people that when I'm talking about something to explain the price increase, I always take 10-year history. 2011 minimum wage was $11. At the
That's right.
same time, average real estate price in Toronto was about $400,000. 10 years after, they got about $4 salary increase. It means minimum wage increase for $15. But same time, real estate price increased $600,000. So average real estate price after 10 years is about $1 million. See, when the minimum wage increased $4, real estate price increased $400,000. Isn't that inflation, Johnny?
Yes, exactly. Exactly,
Yeah,
Kamini.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Like, good example. My friend, he bought a house about 6 years ago for
Mm-hmm.
$500,000,
Mm-hmm.
and he's all excited now. His house is worth $1 million. He said, "Oh, I just doubled my money." I said, "No, you didn't."
Yeah.
And what do you mean? I said, "Well, you," and he smokes, right? So I said, "Okay, how much was a pack of cigarette 6 years ago?" I said, $10. I said, "How much is a pack of cigarette now?" It's $20. Well, your house is 500,000, and now it's $1 million. The cigarettes are $10, and now $20, the same thing, right? You look at every house right now; it's worth $1 million. I remember my first house is only 100,000.
Right.
So
But at least that is a good hedge, right? At least he's protected.
yes,
Yes. I
yes, real
think
estate is. I mean, real estate is amazing. This is everybody should invest in real estate, but at the same time, you have to understand how to hedge it against inflation also too.
mhm. I think you always talk about have a holistic approach when do something, right? Everything has to be coordinated according to your master plan, right, Johnny?
Yes,
Yeah.
yes.
Yeah. Yeah.
So yeah, so like I said, what you see is that a lot of people without a financial model,
Mhm.
all their financial product become like a little junk drawer, right?
Mhm.
They know they have it, but they don't know how it works. They
Mhm.
have life insurance, they don't know how it works. They have stocks, they have savings, they have mortgage, they have vehicle insurance. You know, a lot of people don't understand this, Gamini. A lot of people go out there buy car insurance and they're looking for the cheapest price.
Right.
Little did they know that that car insurance, because it's cheap, can impact their wealth,
Right.
right? Because one bad car accident, they can lose all the assets that they own,
Mhm.
right?
Mhm. Mhm.
So without a model, it's like this. I always use this analogy. If me and you play chess, right? I mean,
Yes. Yes. I
right?
know.
So you're since you're wearing black, I'll let you be black and I'll be white, right?
Mhm. Mhm.
Well, we have the same chess piece
Yeah.
and we have the same move, correct?
Mhm.
Basically the same thing.
Yeah.
But how can we play the chess without a game board?
Yes.
Without a game board, how can we play?
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
So
Yes.
when it comes to financial planning, GB, I mean, a lot of people don't understand is that they don't understand how it works, how each
Mhm.
product each other. So how I do it is that I have a model. You know, I have a model that my client, you know, whoever's reached out to me, they can have it a holistic view and look at every single of their financial product and how it works together,
Okay.
so they can coordinate, integrate.
So what you do is create the plan based on their need, right? Now, but most of the people like they go to their bank and they pick up, they work with their the trusted advisor. So they don't have that kind of model. Why they don't have that kind of model? I mean, the plan to help their clients.
Well, here's the thing. Here's what I want to share with you. My role first, right? My role. I'm not here to ask my clients to fire their accountants, fire their bankers, fire their investment advisor, right? My goal is that, you know, I always ask this question: when's the last time you have all of these people sit with you in one table to help you make one financial decision?
Mhm,
So
mhm,
you know that symphony of music,
mhm.
Gamini.
Yes,
You
yes,
have all these people on the stage, but
yeah,
there's always that one conductor.
yes,
Well, without imagine you going to watch those symphony of music and they don't have that conductor. How
right.
would music sound?
Mhm, mhm.
Right? It sounds like noise, right? So
Right.
what I do is that I help clients implement all the financial product. I look at all the financial product on a holistic view. We're going to look at each product individually, how they pay for their mortgage, how they pay how much car insurance money, what is the deductible, where
Yeah.
they're investing their money in a tax-free account, RRSP, TFSA. But my goal is to be able to help and show the clients each and every single product, how it's impacting their wealth. But the
Okay.
key thing is that we want to make sure that we be able to help them one
So,
dollar to create more wealth for them.
so what you're trying to say is that so when you go to an advisor for the bank at least, right? So ask right questions at least to understand what they are getting, right? So I mean, everybody, majority of the people they go to the bank and get the advice, but they should knowledgeable enough to ask right questions. At least then they know they are protected, right?
That's correct. So
Yeah.
one thing you have to understand is that banks, just like any other banks, they are out there to make money, right?
Right.
They have certain senior advisor to handle high net worth clients,
Yeah.
and there's certain advisor to handle low income families.
Right.
Well,
Right.
most of the people that we mentioned in earlier in the show is that they don't have financial knowledge,
Right.
right? They become illiterate of financial. They don't know ask the right question, and some
Yeah.
of them don't even understand how to read the statements.
Okay.
My
Now,
goal is to educate them so they can bring that question and ask the advisor.
yeah. Now I'll ask a question like, um, so what's the good debt and bad debt?
Like I said, good debt, bad debt is, you know, when you borrow, you owe some money, but you don't have money to pay back, like credit card,
Mhm, mhm,
right? Good debt is that you understand how to hedge it
mhm,
and borrow the money and use their money to make more money.
mhm,
So, like a financial plan, a mortgage, if you can borrow a loan from the bank at 2%
mhm,
and use that same $1 million
mhm,
and invest it somewhere else and make 4%,
mhm,
you don't make 2%.
mhm, mhm, mhm.
Your rate of return is actually 100%
Right.
because you borrow at $2 and
Mhm,
you turn around, you make $4,
mhm,
right?
mhm. Yeah, I think financial education is very important because people are working really hard but unfortunately, they are struggling a lot as well. Majority of the people, if they cannot handle more than $400 to $500 extra payment end of the month, right? It means something is wrong, right? Doesn't matter where the economy is right now. Bank is always making profit, right?
Ah,
Bank
wow.
is always making billions of dollars, right? It means someone is winning no matter what.
Well, RBC just recorded their highest earnings this fourth quarter, right? They just
Yes,
made a
but
huge profit. They just bought out HSBC too, right?
yeah, the same token, majority of the population are struggling. They are making money, so they know how to play the game. So as you said, when people go and ask the questions, they teach you. Yes, they give you advice, but whose interest they are, they are, now.
And here's one more thing I want to add to this, right, Gamini, is that when you
Yes.
go to the bank,
Mhm.
most well financial institutions or most people out there, they more focusing on the offense. All right, how much you need for your retirement? $1 million. Okay, if you need $1 million, you got to give me this and this amount every single month. I'm
Mhm.
gonna put into this and this type of investment. Past
Right,
performance cannot predict future results,
right,
right? But this is how much you will have if you give me this certain amount of money. But
right.
how can we predict this?
Yes,
I mean, 20 years ago, if I tell you that you're going to buy a phone for $2,000, you probably look at me and you laugh at me.
yes, yes,
20
yes.
years ago, if I can tell you that we're going to get COVID
Right. Yes.
pandemic, nobody can believe it, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
So
so, so other thing is when you dealing with the institutions, now you take all the risk, right? If market goes down, you take the risk. Anything what you do with them. So who has the risk? You have the risk,
exactly, I
right?
call that statement. Yeah, statement wealth, right?
Explain a little bit more about that. Yeah.
Well, statement wealth is that it's very simple, Gamini. You give money to what any financial institution, investment firms,
Yeah.
banks, whatever, and then you hope to grow your money certain amount of percentage. Either you saving for buy a new house, buy for your children education,
Mhm.
and your goal is to grow the money. But a lot of people don't understand there's so much risk involved in that
Mhm.
strategy.
Mhm.
And
Mhm.
at the end of the day, at the end of the month, what you get back is a statement telling you how much money you have.
Right.
Now, if you put that money inside some sort of investment that gives you some rate of return, that they always come to give you this risk a test, right?
Mhm.
How much risk do you want to involve? So, what is the definition of risk? I mean,
Mhm.
well, the definition of risk is that you might lose all your money. That's the only that is the risk, right?
Yes.
And then, well, you put in the money in the market, for example, right? Now you got a market risk, right?
Right.
People don't understand when you have money inside an investment at the bank, it's considered as your asset. If
Mhm.
it's an asset and in becoming in the middle of a lawsuit and you lose the lawsuit, say you hit a doctor and the doctor sue you for $5 million, and
Mhm.
back to the vehicle insurance, like I
Yeah.
said, if
Yeah.
your vehicle insurance only have $2 million liability, you're in trouble for the other 3 million. Well,
Yes.
what happened if you lose the case? Well, the doctor's going to go after you for that 3 million. All the money that you have in your bank account is considered as your asset. You
Right.
lose it all,
Right.
right?
Mhm.
So,
Mhm.
and then creditor risk if you're a business owners, right?
Right. Right.
Disability risk. What happened if you can become disabled? Can
Right.
you continue save that money for your children's education? No.
Mhm.
If you go to work and you come back, come home the next at night, who's going to continue to fund that investment for your children's education?
Right. Right.
Government continues to change tax laws.
Right.
They're thinking about increasing the capital gain tax rate.
Right.
So imagine that you're already paying 50% capital gain. Now if they increase it to 75%, you're in trouble.
Yeah.
So all these changes can affect your wealth. So
Mhm.
the question I want to ask you is that if I give you a strategy, if I can show you a strategies, and by the way, it's got to be strategies, not a product, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
There's no one product fit all, right? So I show you a strategy that I can eliminate all that risk.
So what you are trying to do here is, so no matter where the market is going up or down, certain people are making money anyway. So
And
they are
somebody,
they are making money because they understand something differently, right? So I think that's what you are saying. Strategies will determine whether you are winning or losing, right? Just go to work and saving little bit of money here and there doesn't make any sense, right? So I think you make a great point. Now if somebody want to know more information after the show that they want to contact you, and if you want to, do you like to share information? Okay, obviously, your phone number is here, right? So they can ask more questions from you, right, Johnny? I believe.
Yes, of course, Gamini. Like I said, when you invite me to this show, I was very excited. You know, when I learned about this, my goal is to be able to share this with everybody, share this knowledge with everybody. The
Right.
key thing is that when we understand the manual game of life,
Mm-hmm.
the GPS, right?
Mm-hmm.
Most of us now depend on GPS. Back then, we got to figure out how to get there. But
Right.
once you know how to get there from
Right.
point A to point B, you get
Mhm.
there faster.
Right.
So my goal as an educator, I love to educate people. I love to sit down with
Right.
with people, whoever wants to understand. And my goal is to be educate them. I just all that's what I do. I'm going to educate you with what you already have, the risk that you can have with certain strategies or product that you are purchasing.
Mhm.
So you have better understanding, and I want to share that with you, so you can go to your financial advisor or the people at the bank and implement the strategy or ask the right questions.
Yes. I know you are a very kind person. You want to help other people to understand. This is a kind of a complicated subject, and that's why people are ignoring that one. And person like you can break it down and explain people. And it's a wonderful wonderful thing, helping other people to understand. I think majority of the people in this world, they have no clue about how money works. On a few percentage understand, they are winning the game, but I think majority of them are losing because they try to win the game by doing two jobs, maybe three jobs, extra hours, right? So they are playing the game differently. See, if somebody make $80,000, 14,000 goes for federal tax. Another 6,000 goes for provincial tax. 20,000 go on right away. So after they bring money, they again has to go and shopping, and they have to pay HST. And on top of that carbon tax and this tax, that's so many taxes, right?
Yeah.
So I think, as you said, it is very clear. Understand the strategies, winning strategies, applying those strategies is the only way to win this battle, right? Not doing an extra job, not doing 7 days a week, right? Thank you very much, Johnny. Come and share the information. I will invite you again. I think you have wealth of knowledge and experience. You have a final thought to share.
Hey guys, like I said, um, I hope I add some value to everybody here. My suggestions with everybody is to get financial education, understandable financial, understand all the product, and just remember this, okay? The financial institution is not out there to help you, okay? The government is not out there to help you, okay? You have to understand all these products, all these games that they share with you, the TFSA, RSP, RIF, LIF, whatever it is that they are implementing. Is it really meant for you? Once you
Mhm.
understand it, can make better decision in your life. And Gamini, thank you very much for allowing me to be here. And I would love to come back again if time permit, or whatever the subject that you want me to share. I'm here to help.
Thank you very much, Johnny. Talk to you again.
Thank you.
Thank
Bye
you,
bye.
everyone. So we'll come with another session soon. But I think the point here is to educate and give the knowledge. Then you can take educated decisions, right? I think, as I said earlier, so banks are always winning because they understand the game, and some portion of the population also winning because they understand the strategies. They get the right advice, and if you get the advice and instruction from your brother-in-law or whoever you met at the barbecue, they may not be the right expert to give advice, but go and talk to people and get the knowledge. That's good, but get the right advice and apply and create wealth, because we live in the most wealthiest land on earth, right, Yoni?
That's right. Exactly.
Okay, talk to you soon. Bye.